are designed to have more emotional intelligence. We produce more estrogen. We produce more oxytocin. We actually, by design, more emotional. Why would that be an insult? It's like saying to somebody, "Oh, you're disabled. Fuck your legs." Like, no, you're designed that way. Why is that used as an insult to women?
I mean, I think he's just talking about, like, a lot of times women think their feelings are reality. So girls on the show will come on the show and say, this is how the world is because of how I feel, basically.
But that is her reality because that's how she's designed by biology.
But that's not what's true.
That's not the bigger picture.
So for example, we could talk about the pay gap. Women could feel like we make less than men, but he would say something like, fuck your feelings.
Yeah.
And so that's the context that he's using it in.
That context, it makes sense because this pay gap is just not true. But in general, we have innate mechanisms to make us feel more anxious than a situation is. That's why we're mothers. Why we're so good at being mothers is because we sense danger when it's not there. We think our baby's being left alone. Oh, we've got to go run. We're designed by that. And if we weren't but we're governed by our feelings, we'd both be like, okay, baby's asleep, don't need to check on it. But biologically, we're designed to be more feeling based. It's what makes women beautiful, which is not an insult. And he uses it as an insult.
I don't think he's using it as an insult. I think he's just saying it doesn't work in a debate when you're talking about topics.
But it works in a discourse. If you're going to communicate to women and men are going to communicate with women, that if they don't recognize that women exercise feelings and women don't recognize men exercise logic, they'll never be compatible. I mean, you have to talk in that language.
I think he knows that women exercise. But okay, like, this is an example of you as a woman telling men how they need to talk to us. And it's like you're trying to dictate like how men need to say things, but that's not how men do things.
But if men
talk how they talk, and so it's like, why would I go to a man and say you have to talk like a woman? Because like you're feminizing
if I'm a man, and if I've got a son as well, I know I have to speak to him from a place of logic for him to understand it. He won't understand if I talk to him entirely emotionally. So if you come to me as a man with a problem, I will say, me and Nathaniel talk all the time, and I'll give him practical advice because he's a man, and I speak his language. He will give me more emotional advice because he recognizes I'm a woman. That's how we have intelligent discourse.
I've been giving you logical advice.
He does give me logical advice.
Out here like I'm just...
that seems
that's
quite
how
strong.
Life works.
Yeah, but not overall. Not overall. That's your experience. That's your experience. Like, this is exactly what you said.
But that's how healthy discourse is established.
You know what? I have this problem, and this isn't a you thing. It's just like a thing. I hate it when people come on and tell me how to talk on my podcast. It's like, if you were so good at it, then you would do it and you would make it bigger. And so it's like, how are you going to go to them and say, oh, I know how to talk?
No, we're not saying that you don't know how to talk.
Not me. I'm talking about in this example for Fresh and Fit.
Yeah, Fresh and Fit.
Because I've been in this situation where like a girl will say, I don't like the way you, like, they'll be like, oh, I don't like the way she does this. I don't like this. I don't like whatever it is. And my first thought is like, how delusional are you? If you could do it better, you would.
Because it's not about doing it better. It's about offering an alternative perspective. I don't care to do it better than Marlon or Andrew.
But my point is they know what they're doing.
But have you not listened to or read the book Art of Seduction? They talk a little bit about this.
Okay.
Right, where they say, let's say for instance, my woman comes to me with a problem, and I'm just going to give you a logical solution because that's what makes sense to me, right?
Land.
When really it doesn't land, and I think, why don't you quit your job then? It's making you unhappy. It's like you want to vent, you want me to show some empathy, that kind of vibe. When a woman comes to a man with the issue, it's the similar kind of thing because she's expecting something from him where it's like, why aren't you showing empathy? Why aren't you understanding? But he's just thinking, I see the logic in this. It should be a quick, it's like algebra. We want it simplified straight away. And it's like, that's kind of the disconnect. So it's quite rare, not rare, but it's nice where obviously when we have the conversations, like I understand how you would need it received, and you understand how I get.
And that's how we communicate, and that's how we have this friendship for so long. And that's what I want to teach people rather than women are this, men are that, because you don't learn how to use those skills to practically apply and create a healthy relationship. And if we have this platform, we should use the blessing of it to improve lives rather than divide people.
But they do improve lives. That's the thing. Like they do all this
nonsense. People are now going lonely.
Okay. MGTOW is a whole nother. That's a whole nother group. Fresh and Fit aren't MGTOW. They they do improvement for men. There's men that have called in on their show and said they didn't commit suicide. Yeah. So they are helping men. MGTOW, those are men that were walking away until the laws change. And I understand that. They want to walk away from marriage and relationships until the laws change. I understand where they're coming from.
I get that, but it's not constructive to society. If we want to create homes and we want to create two-parent households, me watching a bunch of feminists or him watching a bunch of red pills, we are going to come back with negativity towards each other. Whereas if we take those platforms and teach people how to communicate effectively and create a home, we are doing more of a service to society.
Could I
I disagree with that. Sorry. I think that anything that just makes people chat and think is good, and it would automatically come to like a good conclusion anyway.
I think that's the shrooms.
No, I just think
necessarily.
I think your points are extremely valid, but I think part of the issue is that we're told a lot, especially as men, to change our wording, change our dialect, change appealing to how women feel more so than we are about how men how men think. How I'm not talking about appearance. Yeah. I'm talking about as opposed to saying, like you've said, men approach things more logically. So it's more of a push towards understand her first before understanding him, which doesn't give the unity that you're afterwards. Yeah. Like, for example, I have 5 sisters. I have a lot of sisters. And my mum has to explain to them that I don't process things like they process things. If they get emotional about things, next week they'll be fine. The week after, they'll be up again. And they're like, you're expecting him to jump on with your emotions. He doesn't think like that. He doesn't work like that.
He's not built like that.
He's not built like that. And it's hard for them to understand.
No, sorry.
It's hard for them to understand, and wherever I've been told to, respect their feelings and understand they think differently as well. In the world, it's more that side of it. It's not like, okay, look, this guy's going to think differently from you. It's just more accommodate to her because she feels a certain way, and that's not what it was. That's the divide there.
I had a homemaker. So we're opening. Guys, go subscribe to the Wife School channel. It should be in the description. Get us to 1,000 subs. Anyways, plug. We're doing a wife school, and I've been talking to different like wives and homemakers that are going to teach different like classes for. It's going to be fun. And one of them literally said she teaches women like fuck your feelings. It's not about your like this is something a homemaker of 30 years teaches women fuck your feelings. It does not matter how you feel. Yeah. And so it's like when the women say it's okay, but the men.
Yeah, no, I agree that you can't make decisions on emotions, but emotions can't be entirely ignored because it's how we're designed. If I teach a man fuck a woman's feelings, what kind of father will he be? How will he raise a daughter?
I don't know. My dad, that's kind of how he...
What kind of father are you... Those guys that are in the comments saying, fuck feelings, fuck women. What kind of father are you planning to become?
It's not even that. It's more just like, how happy are you even going to be?
Yeah. But that's in the context of a debate. Again, that's in the context of a date.
If it leaves your mouth, it's in your soul.
It's contextual.
What?
If it leaves your mouth, it's in your soul. Like if I say fuck men are trash, even if it's in the context of a debate, it's in my soul.
No, but again, like this is context. Like he's saying fuck your your feelings don't, your feelings are not, like what do they say? Facts over feelings, right?
Feels
like
over feels.
And so that's the point.
Sorry, but did you see when there was a fight that broke up and a guy and a girl, they hit each other and stuff? I saw one clip of that.
I didn't see that.
Yeah, there's a clip on Fresh and Fit, and there was a guest and a girl next to him, and they got into a physical fight. The guy started hitting the girl started hitting the guy. I think they both hit each other.
On the air?
Yeah, they had to stop filming. And then I only know it because I watched Adam Soskas, and he, who I love, he spoke about it. He had them on a set, and he had one of the girls that was in the set. And she said, I just felt really unsafe in that moment. And Marlon was like, fuck your feelings, because she wasn't in any danger. What is it?
It's Myron.
Myron, okay, fuck his name. But he...
Did you feel that in your soul? When you said
No, I actually don't mind him. I just think it's, it is what it is.
Look, I think it's just communicating effectively, isn't it?
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean? If you want to communicate quicker and effectively, it's nice to just know the shortcut. Okay, cool. She's not going to take... How I'll speak to the guys about it. She's going to react this way if I do it this way. And obviously, if you're on the alpha in a situation, you can kind of force your way. So like you can say fuck your feelings and maybe she'll just shut up. But are you really resonating? Is she really understanding, or is she just shutting up because she doesn't want to speak up?
And are you actually creating a relationship in that moment?
So when you said the thing about their daughters, that is one of the things where I had to really think, all right, I have to learn how to communicate on that level, because if I have it's training.
I don't know. I just think of my mom versus my dad. Like my dad really, it's not about like he kind of does that with me. I mean, not in like a rude way, but like if I go to my mom, like I always say, I'd go to my mom if I wanted to cry about something. If I go to my dad, I want a solution. Like I just think men and women communicate in different ways, and we have as women no business policing men and telling them how to communicate.
Why?
Because if we did it to you guys,
but if somebody but said it to us, it would be beneficial.
But again,
no, but they don't take it like that.
Don't get it twisted. Like I still will probably want to give the solution, right? But if you understand that what they need is the emotional response,
you get your solution out of it.
You can do it in a way where you still get the same solution. Do you get what I mean? I think it's about just the knowledge of knowing that person is going to receive it like this. If you,
but then that depends on the level of their emotional response, which is why it ends up coming to just fucking feelings, because you have to take all of that out of it for you to really understand what's going on.
But fuck your feelings won't make a woman abide by you and submit to you.
When you say that, of course not, because then you don't go crazy.
It's counterproductive.
But you just don't say fuck your feelings. You got to do it in a different way. Like, hey, listen, take that emotion, put it to the side, pin that. Let's come back to that later.
Yeah.
I just no offense. I just think you have no business telling them how to run a podcast when they're at 1 million subs. I just think I would never go to an NBA coach and like as someone who like I don't know what you do with your platform. I don't know how big it is. I know you probably don't have 1 million subs.
Yeah, I don't. Because I don't appeal to the vulnerable.
Again. Wow. So I just would never go to someone and tell them how to do it when I'm here. I just think there's a level of humility in that.
No, I know what you mean. I get what you mean, but the point, it depends. Are you out for clout, or are you out to make a difference in people's lives that's positive? I don't care if I have 0 followers. My mindset will always be, let's be balanced so that we can create
then why have a following at all?
Because it does help the people who want to be helped.
And how do you reach the most people?
Through the internet.
Okay. But I'm saying like you could help people in real life.
But
you
there's people out there that
like I just think it's disingenuous when people say that, because it's like, then go out, then don't be on social media.
But you help more people when you put your positive advice on social media.
And they help more people the bigger they get.
Yeah. Well,
so it's like it's the same.
Can I segue quickly?
Yeah.
Do you know what else I think is misingenuous? When people say I'm traditional in the sense. You see that phrase right there?
I hate
people
that.
say, I'm traditional in the sense. I feel like we may have a few corporates over here. Do you guys ever use this?
Me? No.
Never.
I think that's
do you see
bullshit.
people use it? Like, how do you feel when you see people use that kind of phrase? Because they'll be like, I'm traditional in the sense where I want this guy to do this. Because
what it means, what it means when someone says that is that I just have this thought about my morality being like it's just, everyone knows morality is like always evolving and it's situational, and then people that say that is just like, oh, but my situation is like
it's okay.
It's
like,
okay.
You might.
Are you traditional in a sense?
No.
Not at all.
No, I'm not a traditional person, bro. Like,
Good. I like that.
When women say, I already know. When women say I'm traditional in a sense, it means I want to be courted. I want to know. This is what they mean. I want to be courted like a traditional woman, even though I'm not one, because I'm not a virgin. I'm not married before 25. I don't have a cookbook. But I cook 1 to 2 times a week. So yeah, I'm traditional now. I'm like, I swear to God, if you had a conversation with the actual real traditional women, oh my God. And I've been talking to them for this wife school. Oh my God, they run circles around us. They make all their meals from scratch. They've been raising kids and in a kids situations where they're in charge of children since they were like 16. They've been either babysitting. This woman had 10 foster kids.
Wow.
That's a real traditional woman. She's growing her garden in the backyard. I'm like,
where the vegetables are fresh.
She's a virgin on her wedding day. I'm like, I swear to God, I'm so excited to put everyone in the same room, because we don't even know how bad we are until you see these women. I'm like, look at.
And do you meet many traditional men?
What do you mean? I meet a lot of men that.
Because we all meet men that want traditional women, but do we meet a lot of traditional men?
Most men have traditional values. Just naturally.
I'm sorry. I had to think about this. Yeah.
What makes a traditional man?
I think most men want to be protectors and providers, and most men are capable of protecting the average woman. Yes.
And so most of the men traditionally would want a woman that doesn't work and they pay every bill and she doesn't come on social media and doesn't do all of that. Is that traditional?
Actually, I have a second part to this. So a lot of women will say, I can't be traditional because he doesn't make enough money. I'm finding out now this is wrong, ladies. This is wrong. You're wrong. Because this girl raised 10 children on less than $10,000 a year. It's because you want a lifestyle. You want a certain lifestyle he can't afford. You're trying to marry the lifestyle instead of a family. I'm letting everyone know. Letting everyone know.
Like the red pill community, would they say that they're traditional men or they're not?
And you know what? Do you know what I'll say as well? Is sometimes people will say they're traditional. Men will say they're traditional, and they'll put off the marriage thing because of the finances. But realistically, if you're alpha and you're just it's like cool. Our wedding, what we can afford is this, and this is what we're doing. If we're getting married, we're getting married. It's not. We don't have. I know it's smart to have this in place, and like you want to move into the house straight away afterwards. But if you want to get married, you get married.
I think some women just get married for the wedding anyway. Like,
I don't think that there's such thing. There's no such thing as a traditional man.
Wait, sorry, go ahead.
I don't think that there's a such thing as traditional men, because I don't think there's any definition of it. I don't think there's like any way you can tell a man that they're traditional. Like with a traditional woman, you think, oh yeah, like cooks bread and all that shit and does like virgin and stuff.
So what do you think a traditional man is?
Exactly, I can't think of anything. I've been trying to think of something.
Have you gone on dates before?
Yeah.
Have you paid for your meal?
Yeah, no.
Okay,
No.
so
that would be a traditional man,
him
someone
providing,
that
taking that traditional man role, not the 2020
So
we're going
that
to
is a
split or you pay
traditional
the
man
bill.
role to pay for the food.
That's just part of it, and that's
But
like
do you
one
see
of the
how
mains.
easy that is compared to fucking making a fucking
Easy?
pie?
Yeah, you paying for the meals?
No, that's not easy because you might have to do a
scratch.
job you hate for the rest of your life to provide for a woman.
No, but it's one tap of a card at the end of the day.
One
But it's
time.
a
We're all
process
working.
that goes behind it. Yeah.
So a process doesn't go behind baking a cake and stuff. I just feel like
is
there's
the
there's
tradition
one
based
rule
on
of paying.
the religion?
I mean,
Because we're talking about marriage.
I
Is it-
think-
was it what we talk?
traditional men
That's
is a thing.
I think it goes back to protecting and providing. That's what I think it goes back to.
on that side.
So paying for dates, opening doors, protecting. So
like chivalrous, basically.
But chivalry's dead. But an example,
Exactly. So it's
but an example of someone being a protector. If someone breaks into my house in the middle of the night, it's my job to go out there and deal with the intruder. It's not my wife's job. That is an example of being a protector,
that's
which
a
doesn't
traditional
involve which doesn't involve anything to do with money or anything else. Just pure protection. I'm willing to die to protect my wife and my child, and that's it.
Remember, he said wife though, not girlfriend.
Not some
Don't be
team,
standing
not
in front of
3
Wouldn't it
or
be
4.
women? Wouldn't it be
No,
women?
it's
Because men would
wife.
go to war to protect women, not their wife. They would
right.
jump
No,
but
off
usually
the
they're their wife.
Titanic.
It's-
They would
it's
jump off the
normally their wives.
Titanic for women.
It's a-
But women, no.
culture.
But women, but
For women,
regardless,
not wives.
how guys really, how most guys who I speak to, how they rate things are like, if you're my wife or you're my long-term girlfriend, you get all the benefits, protected,
But that's not
providing.
traditional then,
If I'm
because
just,
traditional-
well, no, because you wouldn't
That's
be
true,
traditional to
traditional
a.
man
Why are you
do it for all
going to be?
women.
Why are you going to be a traditional for all
No, but a
women?
traditional man would
But
have the
listen,
respect for
again,
all of the women.
Kevin Samuels used to say this all the time, yeah? You women want us to stand in front of bullets for you, and then you'll be rude to us, you'll talk about us generically, yeah? The majority of you will say that you're settling for this kind of guy. You talk about guys like this shit, but you want them to do all these things for you.
Men talk about women like they're shit.
Okay, but
want
you
them
but
to
when
do
you
shit.
lot ain't expected to go stand in front of a bullet.
Nah, for real.
So what you lot talking about?
That's a big deal, man.
Honestly, guys,
a very
even
extreme-
no, it's not extreme because even being a single woman in all of human history, it's a privilege. We've never gotten to do it. Like being able to sit on this podcast as a single woman, that is a privilege. Because who do you go to?
I think back then it would be a privilege. Now it's normal.
No, because okay, think about it. Who runs? And you've never heard this content before. She's just she got recruited off the street too. No. Which is okay. It's okay.
cool.
But like, think about it. Like, who runs the infrastructure of society? The power lines. The garbage collector, like everything that makes society run, and society would fall apart without the police officers, the firefighters. They tend to be men. If shit goes south and we go to war, it tends to be men. So right now, men protect us and provide for us just by being a single woman in society, because a lot of those industries are 98% men.
Yeah, but so my
like
thing
what
is,
you
so
said.
does
I
that
like that, but-
mean that's a traditional man?
What?
Like, does that equate to a traditional man?
I mean, I would say a man that's willing to protect and provide for his woman is traditional. I think most men are willing to do that. The problem is women want a lifestyle that a lot of men can't afford, but that's on the women because they want a lifestyle outside of their what they would pick a lifestyle out over a family. And I've talked to girls about this where I'll be like, would you give up getting your nails done for years? No hair, no makeup, no new clothes, nothing in order to have a family. Like women used to do that. My grandma had 13 kids.
Yeah, but I get the society
off of a fireman's salary.
Yeah, I get the society thing that we need men for certain roles, but women dominate education, and education determines doctors, lawyers, all the other structures. Women also dominate child rearing, and societies are not just defined by infrastructure; it's defined by the subcultures we create. So
and like honestly, the education system has gone to shit since women took it over. So like, there's actually negative fun fact: teachers have a standard deviation lower IQ than the rest of the population.
I agree, because I was a teacher for many years, and I know that most teachers they don't have to have high education to be a teacher, which is
it's not to say that women have no value. It's to say that women can live without men. Or no, sorry, men can live without women, but women can't live without men. That's the point. That's the whole point.
But that's just not.
No,
I think maybe in this
from a society evolutionary standpoint, I'm not talking about emotional. I'm saying you get rid of reproduction.
Yeah.
Society would go on, and men would fill those roles where women could not fill the roles that men do.
But
like we wouldn't have the women wouldn't be rushing to be plumbers. We wouldn't be able to figure out the power supply.
They'll see a line and be like, "Oh, cute little cat."
But even with that, you're forgetting that for men, they have really low standards of living if they're not motivated by women. I think Chris Rock made a joke, is like, men would fuck in a box if it wasn't for women. You can, without the motivation of women, men do not strive. It's part of their ego boost. So without that, do you think a man's going to be risking it all to build a really tall building for what? If he's got no woman to provide for?
I mean, don't get me wrong. They'd probably be hunting in the woods. I'm sure. But the point is, we're not arguing that men don't want women and women don't help society. The point is that men don't need women for survival. Women need men for survival. That's the point. And being a single woman is a privilege, and as a thank you, we shit on them. That's the whole point.
No, I just don't know if for
you just want to disagree.
No, I just think that when we portray an idea that one doesn't need the other, we're removing the need that humans have for codependency. We're talking about imaginary scenarios.
I just think
not real ones.
I think women in general just like to feel more important than we are. You know, that's like why we're told we're special in Queens from a young age.
Ego boost, men.
Listen, I'm gonna start calling you Kumbaya. You always try to bring everyone together.
No, because it is true. It is true. Everybody loves the ego boost.
Because I know when I post a video on TikTok that's so divisive, I did one on gold diggers, and it was so divisive, and I got 5 million views. And when I do one about how to solve relationship issues, and so I'll get 1,000 views. So unfortunately, the people are hungry for conflict, and they're dying for it. And when we feed it to them, that's what we create in society.
It's entertaining though. Come on, we all used to watch. You Got Framed. Remember, we just sit there and watch people like fall over and laugh at them and stuff.
But we're tapping into the wrong side of human nature.
But listen, it's just entertainment. Yeah. Not everyone wants information. Information
who are you to tell us how to do it? Sorry, I just think I would never go. I swear to God, I would never go to an NBA coach if I'm in the rec league and tell them how to do it. As many of you know, I was just banned on TikTok, and we are demonetized on a daily basis on this platform. If you want to help, please consider sending a super thanks below. Every donation helps, and it helps make what we do possible.